G'day, Aussie Bonsai Bloke, here you go. Well, today we've got an update on these two big trees that me and Laurie dug in the quarry. Just a bit of an update, and we'll work on one and talk about the other one. Talk about both and work on one. See how we go. There's very limited growth on one, and the other one has just exploded. And you'll be surprised at the results of which one exploded and which one didn't. But first, I'll just show you, I'll just run a small clip. We had 4 kangaroos running around this morning right near the house. Literally just out the back door. So that was pretty cool. I managed to get a short clip of one or two of them. I'll show you that. Also got a new rock bonsai pot. Not normally a fan of rocks, but this one's a pretty cool pot. I think it's made out of coral. So I'll show you that one. Good day guys, just found myself a coral bonsai pot lying around at my parents' place out in their dump site. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Don't know what it was doing out there, but I'm happy. Piece of coral. Look at that. Look at that. What do you think, Leo? Leo? What do you think? What do you think? Pretty cool, pretty cool. And even inside, look at this. There's even some drainage holes. It's about 3 or 4 holes that go right through. Bloody beauty. And the other update is the kids' bloody tomato bush. You should see this thing. Just show you. Okay guys, so there's the 2 olives. Look at this. This is the kids' tomato bush. I'll stand back so you guys can get a decent perspective on that. So those olives are massive. Look at this. This is only 3 tomato plants in here. There's also a mint bush and a bit of broccoli trying to grow, which looks like it might have been eaten by something. Mint bush, and this tomato plant gone absolutely mad. Look at it, just huge. Absolutely huge. And not only that, have a look on there. There you go. Don't want to tread on it too much, but you know, we got lots of trusses of tomatoes here. Look at this. So this is a kids' tomato plants. They'd be pretty proud of their efforts. There's actually a chili bush in the middle of here trying to grow. Okay, so there's a chili bush. It is actually trying to get some chilies on it, but it is getting out competed by the tomato plant right now. So there's a kids' chili bush, and if you look here, here's a ripe tomato. Look at that. Bloody beautiful. So the kids have been picking lots of tomatoes lately. I'll just eat this one. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So I'll put you guys on a stand in a minute, so sorry about, you know, shaking you guys around. Here we've got one of the big olives that were dug. Although this one wasn't dug. Oh, I just fell on my bum. Do you remember this one here was the one that was flat cut at ground level and taken as a big cutting? No roots at all, not even any of the whole big ball of the root system, because olives get that big ball root system. Didn't even have that. It was flat cut on the bottom, chucked in the pot. And this one is the one that's just fully exploded with growth. Lots and lots of growth. Back trunk as well. Obviously I'm going to have to deal with these flat cuts, do some carving on this thing in future. I do want to let it get more solid in there first. It is pretty solid, but I want to let it get really solid because I'll be carving for a fair few hours and I don't want to disturb the new roots. So I think another year before I carve that. Let dieback happen where it's going to happen, although it doesn't look like any of it's going to die back. And the other one, well, I just sprayed all these weeds. You can see they're starting to die at the edges, so they're dying off, so I don't need to pull them out. Now you can see this one here, the whole trunk, all these back trunks. I really wish the whole thing survived. It was going to be a huge bonsai with pads and stuff everywhere, just going to be massive. And all the back trunks are dead. The front trunk, well, looks like we've got a live vein here which runs down the inside of there, probably maybe into the ground over there somewhere. So we've got this low branch alive, branch there, and there. There's almost, you can see a dead line there. You can see how that's darker, that's lighter. So that's our dead line. Okay, stuff might shoot out of there or it could be dying back, don't know. Might be trying to shoot. Down here, well, who knows what's going on. It's really strange. I don't know if it's trying to shoot or it's got some sort of weird disease, but it is trying to callus there. It's really strange. Pretty sure most of this is dead. And, you know, stuff's rotted away down here. There's some weird white balls there. Must be eggs from something or other. Could be worm eggs. Don't know. So there's little white clear balls. Not sure what they're from, but we'll leave them. But basically, I'm going to let that one sit for another year. See what survives. See what rots. I wouldn't mind some white ants coming in through the ground, because white ants here coming up, eating it out and doing some carving for me. That'd be good, but we'll see what happens there. So far no sign of them. And the back's dead as well, so you only really got a side little bit that's alive down there somewhere. Another year it'll really pop out where that live vein is and I'll really be able to see it. If I try and carve it now, I might accidentally carve through something that was keeping it alive. Yeah, pretty hard one to work out. But still, I think we can make something. We'll have some live bits and a lot of dead carved stuff. Maybe chop some stuff off, we don't know. If I carve all of it, it's going to be a hell of a carving episode. So let's get back to this one. I'll put you on the tripod and we'll get back to that one. Okay guys, well, as you can see, just shoots all over this thing everywhere. It's full of shoots. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around and try and find evenly distributed shoots around all of the trunks everywhere. I'm not going to decide on any trunks. I'm not going to do any carving. This is a process. You collect it. Once it's recovered to this extent, where you've got lots of shoots, Now I go in and shoot select, then I leave it for another year. Okay, so I'm going to come in, shoot select right now. I'm just going to choose the strongest shoots from any one location. I think you can see it shoots, you know, 5 or 6 from each location, anywhere from 2 to 6 shoots. At the top I'll probably leave a couple spread out like that, and just go one on each location where I think it's needed. Okay, and I'm going to opt to keep the strongest one. So to recap, dug it, or we cut it, left it in here for nearly a year, let it recover to this. Now we're going to cut it back to 1 shoot from each location, so that that 1 shoot left can get ultra strong and not be competing with several shoots, and then let it grow out fully for another year. And then what will happen, these shoots will go from being, you know, tiny little shoots to hopefully really fat big shoots. So we'll just go around the tree and clean it up all like that, just so that it can put all its power into, you know, maybe 30 shoots rather than, you know, 100 or 200 shoots. It'll be only putting it into 30 odd shoots, and that'll be literally it. So let's get to that. I'll do it on a hyperlapse because I'll be here for a little while, but there's nothing to it. You don't even need to worry about where they're coming from too much. Just find each clump where there is a heap and cut it back to 1. Okay, because right now all you're trying to do is redistribute a lot of the energy back to a few branches, not heaps of branches. Okay, so just evenly distribute them around the whole thing, and I'll do that on hyperlapse, and I'll talk to you after that. Okay guys, so we're getting there. I should also add that I apologise for the background. I'm trying to do some of it on the background of the tank, but as you can imagine, lifting this thing here, I don't even know. With that pot and that sand, it's well over 100 kilo. It could be 100 and could be 120 kilo, 130. So forgive me if I can't lift it, but I don't know what I'm going to do in the future. I might have to repot it where it is, and who knows. Eventually it's going to be on a stand as a featured tree and hopefully not repotted too much. But anyway, I'll just show you around. You can see now, instead of being big clusters of shoots, okay, we've now got, you know, you can see where I've cut them all off. Cut them all pretty flush. You can see where I've got just single ones left around the place. Okay, on a big swell like this, it's still alright to have 4 or 5 around there, but just have them spread out a bit. You just want to have branches spread out all over your tree, and then I'm going to let all of these grow for another year now without touching it again. You can see where I've removed all of those shoots in there. Lots of shoots gone. And they've each got their own individual space to work with now, and hopefully they'll fatten up good. So that's that. Ideally I'd like to start doing it with this one, but I'm going to let it shoot out more first, because I don't know where it wants to go, whether it wants to die, and I don't want to set it back by cutting some of this off and then having it die. So we'll see with that one. I'll just put you back on the stand. Okay guys, you're back on the stand. I also want to add, don't be intimidated by the size of this stock, you know, this cutting that I've got. No matter what size cutting, I treat them all exactly the same. I go around, obviously on a smaller tree you're going to keep less shoots, Because if you kept that many shoots on a small tree, they'd all be very close. So you'll keep less shoots, but it's still the same principle. Dig it up, let all the branches regrow, and then choose about a year later, roughly, depending on the vigor of it, the ones that you want to keep. I'll let them grow solid for another year. In another year, what I might do is I might hedge all the top ones and then let all the bottom ones grow out stronger, so you have fatter branches at the bottom. Just play it by ear. When I think they're fat enough, I'll start cutting them back. When they're still too thin for where they are, like this branch here, or all of these really, if they're too thin for where they are, I'm going to wait till they get fat before I'll cut them back. Until they get fat, they're not going to get cut back. When they're a good size, then they'll get cut back. But in all likelihood, because you want thinner branches at the top and trees grow stronger at the top, in all likelihood the top ones will be cut back first, bottom ones will be let to keep growing out. Yeah, so don't be intimidated by that stock. I mean, they all start from there. We've got another one just sitting next to me here, I'll just show you. This one here started exactly the same. It was a trunk that was pulled out the ground. A few main branches were allowed to grow. Okay, so just a few main branches, and then they'll develop from there. And they'll let it grow until they got fat enough for the height of the tree that they're at. And then they started getting cut back and refined from there. So, as you can see, the branches were allowed to fatten up, and that's where we're at with this tree here, the one that's just been done now. So yeah, it's a pretty simple process. Collect it, let it recover, choose the branches that you want, let them grow out to the fatness that you want, then start cutting them back and developing your branch structure. Simple as that. Yeah, that's about it for the video. We've worked on it, we're done. Cheers for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your mates about the channel. Hope you enjoyed the update of the wild duck olives. The same would go for if you collected one out the garden that you grew yourself or whatever. Same principle. That's it. Cheers. And I'll catch you next time. Thanks very much.